What is up, guys? We're back with another CES 2023 video, and today we're going to be talking about Thermaltake. They had a bunch of new cases and some really cool fans that they showed us, and we're going to be talking about cases first. And we have the new CTE series, which has nothing to do with concussions. They are a set of 3 different cases really made to show off your build. We have the CTE C750, the CTE C700, and the CTE T500. The cool thing about these cases too, whether you're doing a more air focused build or maybe you're doing a water cooling build, you can kind of choose between an air model or a TG model. So of course the air model is going to have mesh on the front. The TG model, air model is going to have mesh on the front, and the TG model will have tempered glass, of course. The C750 is the big boy. This is a huge case.
It's big. It's pretty wide as well. It's going to take up some desk space for sure.
Yeah, now this is going to support all the way up to extended ATX. Big motherboards, lots of room inside. You can do pretty much all 420
up
rads,
to 420 millimeter RAD.
Front, bottom, back, and side. And then even on the top of the case, you have room for 2 140s as well. Lots of room, up to 14 fans in this. Right. One thing that's really cool about these cases too is that they orient the motherboard so your graphics card's kind of facing vertically down, which I think is really cool. Just gives you a different look, and I think it really makes this case look cool. And another thing that's cool about these cases is that they're that sort of dual compartment case where you have the main side of the case that shows through the side panel. That's going to have your motherboard and your graphics card. And then on the other side, you have your power supply and your, your storage and all that kind of stuff. So you're really showing off that motherboard, which I really like. Now, this one's supposed to be the CTE 750 or CTE C750 Air, going to be $229 for the Air version, and then the TG version is going to be $249. Now moving on to the CTE C700 Air, that's basically
it's just like a smaller version. It has some differences for sure though.
Yeah, it's not as, I guess you would call it long. It's not as long.
Right.
So you're not going to fit as much cooling in. You can still do
up to 10 140 millimeter fans.
Up to 10 140. So you can do 3 in the back, 3 in the front, 2 in the bottom, and then 2 in the top. So you're losing a little bit of cooling in the bottom. You still get that cool vertical mount for the GPU, or like the motherboard's oriented, so your graphics card is vertical, which I really like there. That one, again, we have an Air and a TG. So the Air is going to be $179, and the TG will be $229 for that one. And then we have the CTE T500, and this one's going to be a little bit different. This has the more traditional internal layout. Right. So you actually have, where your power supply is mounted on the bottom of the case. It's not that dual compartment design as much. That one will be, so
the Air version is going to be priced at $179.
Yeah.
Tempered glass at $199, and this is more like your tower design, a more traditional style case.
I think they all look good. They all really allow you to show off your system, which I really like. So that is the CTE series from Thermaltake.
Next up, we have the Series 500 tempered glass ARGB case. This is kind of like your more affordable version of one of their newer cases. Pricing wise, we're looking at $169 on this. The nice thing about it though is you can fit full size graphics cards all the way up to like a 4090. We saw in their build they had a 4090 in there. This is actually launching this week as well, so this is available like right now, right? And it does also come with a removable support bar for those larger graphics cards, right? These new cards with their coolers on them can get a little heavy. Sagging is a thing, so they've included a removable support bar to help out with some of that GPU sag. Again, this is another case that supports up to a 420 millimeter radiator up front, and they were talking about this actually coming with 4 of their new CT style fans.
Yeah.
Is a possibility. They weren't 100% sure, but it sounded like that might be the case with this. So that's not a bad deal.
It's either going to be 3 or 4. It's not like it's going to come with no fans. They weren't sure if it's going to ship with 3 or if it's going to ship with 4. So you're likely going to get 3 in the front and then 1 in the back for your fan setup. But I really like this case because it just looks solid. And it's going to fit all your hardware. It does have the nice tempered glass. It's really tooled well, which I think, and I know I don't know if we have it on video, but they do have a little LCD accessory that can it's an extra cost, but it's a cool little LCD accessory that goes with the case as well. And I like the price, $169.
Yeah, and this will be available in both black and snow versions for the same price.
Up next, we had the Tower 200. So I'm sure you're familiar. We've all seen the Tower 900, the big slot machine looking, or I don't know what you want to call it, this big, big wide open case. And then we had the Tower 100, which we reviewed. There's also a Tower 500, which we saw, which is smaller version of the Tower 900. Now we're going to get the Tower 200. And this is really made for micro ATX builds. One of the bigger changes that they did make was that instead of having tempered glass all around, you just have tempered glass on the front, and then the sides are mesh because, again, you have a lot of bigger hardware in there. They want better airflow, so you do have that. This is going to be available in April. We do not have pricing, but if you look at the price of the Tower 500 and the Tower 100, it's obviously going to sit in between those. And you were really excited about this because you're wanting to do a micro ATX build.
Right, yeah. Micro ATX is like usually kind of my favorite form factor for motherboards. So yeah, this is kind of a contender for that.
We didn't ask them, so I'm not sure. They did have a black and a snow. We saw with the Tower 100, we saw those cool different colors. We reviewed the racing green, so we're not sure if the Tower 200 will come in those different colors. Once we get more information, we'll definitely let you guys know. And then finally, when it comes to fans, Thermaltake had their Suave fan EX RGB. Now we've all seen the Lee Uni fans. We talked about it in my recent build. Makes it so easy because you could connect them together. I think Thermaltake is one-upping Lee just because instead of trying to connect the notches in, these are 100% magnetic.
Yeah, they just snapped together so quick when you were demoing them.
Yeah, they snap together so quickly, nice and easy. And then the actual connector that has, your power and your RGB, it is also magnetic too. And it's magnetic so you can only connect it one way so you won't mess it up or anything like that. Just super, super easy. These fans felt really, really good as well. You're going to be able to get these in 120 and 140 millimeter versions. And another thing that's really cool about these fans is that you can swap out the actual blades. So the blades kind of just pop off, which is really cool. So if you're looking to do higher airflow, or a certain type of blade for whatever you may be doing, whether it's water cooling, whether it's just pushing more air, you can go ahead and do that with these fans as well. Now they're going to be offered in a 3-pack. I believe you will be able to buy them in singles as well. But the 3-pack for the 120 millimeter fans will be $109, and then the 3-pack for the 140 millimeter fans will be $119. And if you are wondering, they will come with a controller as well, so you will have the ability to connect it into the controller. But I think also you could just connect it into your motherboard if you just want to run it off your motherboard's RGB software. But Thermaltake's RGB software is really, really good, so I would suggest using the controller. So that is it for Thermaltake at CES 2023. Now, if you have any questions about any of the products that we talked about, go ahead and leave a comment below. And we will have a link below where you can check out all of our CES 2023 content. And we'll see you guys in the next video.